We're here today at the Stony Brook Vineyard in Botetourt County, which is the starting point and ending point for a great ride that's coming up this fall. It's called the Harvest Tour, and basically you're going to get on your bicycle and ride through some beautiful countryside, and you'll be stopping at various farms along the way. And so today we're going to take our bikes out. We're not going to do the whole 42-mile ride, but we're going to get a sampling of what's out there. We rode with Tim Miller and Lisa Moyer, the Muddy Squirrel folks. We started at Stony Brook Vineyard, which will be home base for this event, where there will be a farm-to-table meal served under a big tent on ride day. So we went out and we rode past some of the farms, but we didn't stop at a lot of them because the farmers were already at the Botetourt Farmers Market, which opens at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning. And so we actually stopped there first, and we met a couple of the farmers before we went out on our bikes. So one of the stops will be at Old Hollow Farms, where they're doing some pretty awesome hydroponics, judging from the tomatoes they had on display. And they're also doing specialty mushrooms, which I understand they cannot keep in stock. And then another stop will be Sarah's Petals, which is a cut flower farm. And there is the promise that lots of blooms will be out on the day of the ride. And then there is Williamson Farms, where the grass-fed beef was selling really fast at the farmer's market. And Tara is super excited to host the Cyclists. You guys produce what?
We do beef, eggs, and now we actually mill our own grains. So we're doing H&M grains, cornmeal, oatmeal. We actually do fresh cracked right at the Blacksburg Farmers Market, and everything's completely fresh.
Gotcha. So why are you interested in being involved in this bike ride?
The bike ride, so we're actually helping with outdoor recreation and getting other people out, seeing local agriculture, where your food comes from. I think there's a big disconnect there nowadays, and so we're going to get everybody out, have them visit in person, and just see what it's all about, where your food comes from, the origin, and get you back connected to the land.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good.
I'm John.
I know, I'm Candace.
Candace, nice to meet you. This is my wife, Mary.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
One place we did stop on our ride is Beaver Dam Farm, where the sunflowers are still growing right now, but they will be ready when the cyclists arrive. And this is where the local sunflower festival is every year, and there'll be details all about that in the show notes.
They will see a sea of yellow. The sea of yellow. It'll be all open blooms, and approximately 20 acres worth.
But wow, what a unbelievable place that's going to be to stop on your bike.
So we've got approximately 620,000 sunflowers that'll be ready in September.
Wow. So how cool is it that we're trying to connect bicycles and all the sort of cool agriculture that's happening in Botetourt?
Well, I like the idea. I've known Muddy Squirrel for quite some time, and we've talked about partnering on things before with the sunflowers. So to be able to involve the cycling and the harvest tour with the sunflowers and make it a stop here is kind of, I feel like, the first step in the right direction that where we can all start to work together. So.
Pretty easy to see why cyclists will be drawn to the area. The roads are good, the drivers were polite, respectful, and when you add one more dimension to a bike ride, in this case, the farm-to-table aspect, just one more reason to kind of be out there, it just makes the ride that much more valuable.
Well, our concept, as I see, is one to where we want to showcase farms in Botetourt County and the agriculture that's historic here, but also the way it's changed. We really like the idea of the farm-to-table movement. So we wanted to make sure we included a farm-to-table meal at the end. Some of the things may come from the farms we visit, some may not, but it's all going to be pretty local. We wanted to just showcase what we have here in Botetourt County.
Well, we went to a really grassroots ride in North Carolina. We met an organic farmer who decided, let's get together with some friends and string our farms together with a fun bike ride, and get together and have a nice farm-to-table meal with everything we produce. And so we went down there, did that ride, had a blast, met a lot of wonderful people, and decided that Botetourt's the perfect place to do something like that.
How do you connect those dots specifically with a bicycle?
Well, you know, what combines our two favorite things is riding and eating. And I feel like, you know, we have so many great roads and great routes in Botetourt that are still predominantly rural. And just it's a natural fit to ride past the farms and then want to eat what comes off of them.
Well, it's Botetourt County, so it's going to be hilly. You can ride about 42 miles if you want to see everything. You can cut through if you know, just want to be leisurely and you know, maybe miss one of the farms that's way out there.
So it's a self-guided tour. It'll be marked, but it's kind of, there's a window for the start. We'll start at Stony Brook Vineyards, and there'll be a tour there if folks want to take that. I would encourage that. And then they'll start off, it's not timed, so it's a leisurely pace. They'll be able to stop at about 6 or 7 farms along the way. Some farms have a guided tour, some farms will be just walk around and see what you see. And then they'll move on. There'll be a couple aid stations. We'll wrap up around 3 o'clock, between 2:30 and 3, and then have a farm-to-table meal.
And I think you'll want to spend some time there. Hopefully we'll have some music that day, and you know, again, meet a lot of really interesting people. We'll have some vendors out there. Hopefully we can get our farmers off the farm to mingle with you and eat some dinner, and you know, you can ask them questions. It should be a really fun day.
One last thought on our little tour here. Mary and I were on road bikes. Tim and Lisa were on gravel bikes, and there are some entrances to these farms where you might feel more comfortable either riding a gravel bike or maybe parking or walking your road bike. We did ride in on our road bikes, but I think on the day of the ride, I'll probably take a gravel bike, something with a little bit wider tires.
I mean, there's so many beautiful places in the county, and to tie the cycling with the farm, and hopefully the riders can learn a little bit more about agriculture while they're out too, is even a better experience in my opinion.
Yeah, so you're already out and about, and you're actually going from probably an urban place where you're starting out, getting out to the country, seeing that transition, getting that connection. You're already feeling energized and exercise, and we're bringing you out and having you enjoying the landscape. So it's kind of just a beautiful ride and beautiful land and seeing beautiful labor that gets everything to your plate.
All right, so we are done. What a great ride. We're back here at the Stony Brook Vineyard. We just had a little sampling of what they've got going on. They've got a food truck here today. And in, what is this? So I'm speaking to you today. It is August of 2021. And so when the actual event happens, there'll be a lot more going on. They've got great parking here, and there's going to be a meal here, and it's just going to be a great event. So it's something to mark on your calendar. It's Sunday, September 26th. It's called the Harvest Tour. It will be capped at 100 people. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, you're probably going to want to get in on it as early as you can. I'll be riding the ride with my wife Mary, and we hope to see you out there.